We all know Northeast Florida is an amazing place to live, but let's be honest, most of us aren't that familiar with all the unique communities the region has to offer. Well, that's about to change. We're Brady and Alyssa Hammond, and our family is one of the top producing teams in the area when it comes to selling real estate. Join us as we dive into one of the hottest markets in the country and tour the premier communities, amenities, and properties that make Northeast Florida such a desired destination. Today on Property Tours, we're exploring historic downtown St. Augustine. St. Augustine is located just off the Atlantic coast along the Matanzas Bay, about 45 miles to the southeast of Jacksonville. Founded in 1565 and established by the Spanish, St. Augustine is the oldest continuously occupied settlement in the United States. Officially registered on the National Register of Historic Places, downtown St. Augustine is where residents and vacationers alike will find the city's primary tourist attractions, such as restaurants, museums, and more. Many of the buildings here date back to the 1700s. The Spanish architecture, beautiful views of the bay, educational trolley rides, and exhilarating nightlife make downtown St. Augustine one of the top vacation destinations in the United States. To give an insider perspective as to what it's like to live in downtown St. Augustine, we're going to be meeting two local couples who have graciously invited us into their homes. The Rappaport family, who live along the Matanzas River on the north side of downtown in an area known as Abbott Tract, and the Hathorn family, who live on world-famous St. George Street on the south side of downtown near the Lincolnville area. Now it's time to take an in-depth look at life in downtown St. Augustine on Property Tours of Northeast Florida.
We're here at the Castillo de San Marcos in downtown St. Augustine.
This fort was built over 300 years ago by the Spanish and is considered the focal point of historic St. Augustine, attracting visitors from all over the country and even the world.
It sits on the Intracoastal waterway, just like the next home we're about to visit, the Rappaport residence.
Let's go check it out.
Abbott Tract is a historic district on the north side of downtown, named for St. Augustine's first female land developer, Lucy Abbott, who purchased and developed the 33-acre plot of land that today contains the highest percentage of pre-1930 buildings within St. Augustine. Some of the main attractions near Abbott Tract include the famous Fountain of Youth, the Old City Jail, and the Castillo de San Marcos, the oldest masonry fort in the continental United States. The Rappaports have owned this 5,800 square foot estate since 2021. This home was built almost a century ago in 1925 and features an over half-acre lot that includes gorgeous views of the bay, an in-ground heated pool, and a beautiful setup for entertaining. The home itself combines historical charm with updated finishes to make for an unforgettable St. Augustine experience. Jim and Cecilia, thank you so much for having us at this, beautiful historic home. We're so excited to be here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Just tell us a little about your story and how you guys ended up here in St. Augustine.
We wanted to come down here, was working in Central Florida, and this was a wonderful community, and a friend had introduced us to it during the Festival of Lights and had so much fun. We said, well, we ought to rent here for a couple of months, and about 3 weeks in, we decided that we were going to look for a place here.
So what about St. Augustine really made you decide this was the spot?
Well, one is we love the history, and most of the places we've lived are very walkable, and from here to downtown is such an easy walk. We're close to the beach, close to the golf club, lots of great restaurants to eat at, and wonderful people that we've met here.
So Jim, you mentioned the history. You guys definitely picked a great historical spot here in, I believe, the Abbott Tract section of St. Augustine. Can you guys tell us a little about the history of this area?
It doesn't seem like it today, but back in the mid-1800s, this was really the suburbs, and it was outside the city wall. And a spinster from Charleston, South Carolina, and she was a spinster because she was unmarried over the age of 30, came down, and she developed this whole tract area basically from the fort up to right now up to the circle. So this whole area was developed by her, which took a lot of courage back then.
That's an amazing thing. Because that would be what?
Real estate developer back in the 1800s?
Yeah, for a woman to do that. Yeah, that probably is unheard of.
Unmarried woman.
Yeah.
So, what made you choose this particular home?
It looked, even from the outside, it looked like it had a lot of character. And then as soon as we walked in, we could feel it. We could feel it and see it, but it just needed a lot of love. So I think we're up for challenges. I've renovated 19 homes. I really like the work.
Tell me about this spectacular view you have. What are we looking at out here exactly?
Well, you're looking at starts with Hospital Creek, and we can't figure out where the hospital was, somewhere along here. And then after out there, you have the Matanzas River and the Intracoastal. And then you look through the break that was built by the Army Corps of Engineers about 60, 70 years ago to replace the opening down by the lighthouse that filled in. So it's a wonderful. We see people coming through here fishing and kayaking and paddle boarding and literally right out in front of the house. And then of course you hear the bigger boats out in the Intracoastal.
You know what else we've found on the property are pieces of pottery. So we know that Native
Spanish settlers. Yeah, there was an old musket ball.
Camped out. They
Pieces
camped out right here.
Yeah.
When you talk about history, this home is coming up on almost its 100th year birthday. Is that correct?
Yes, it was. They started construction 100 years ago in 1923, and the house was built. You can kind of, as you go through it, you'll see the parts of it that were added over time, and different renovations. And it was built by one of Flagler's lead architects and engineers. Initially, and he lived in it for about 10 or 12 years.
How many guest rooms do you have in this house?
Well, we have a total of 7 bedrooms, so since 6 guest bedrooms, I guess, and it's 6 baths. So it's we can handle a house full.
Yes, and you have an art studio. I know you are an artist.
Thank you. Yes, I've been an artist for maybe the last 15 years.
Yeah, and some of your art is even displayed in the home. So yes, I love all the art in this house.
We have to have our daughter Emery meet you sometime because she keeps telling us, I want to be an artist when I grow up. I want to be an artist. We were trying to help her teach her little brother something the other day. She's like, Daddy, I don't want to be a teacher. I want to be an artist.
You've been painting for a long time, and it's a great space. Gives her the north light. She always tells me she wants the north light, and oftentimes
it doesn't give us the north light. I mean, it should, but
it gives you the northwest light.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Okay.
All right, Jim, you've got to tell me about your office because that is an office of dreams right there.
I love my office because it's on the 2nd floor, and I can be on my conference calls and looking out at the beautiful views and the active waterway. It's just extremely comfortable office with great view.
It'd be hard for me to get stuff done in an office like that.
So tell me about your champagne lounge. I don't know if I've ever been in a home with a champagne lounge before.
It was a dining room, and when his father passed, he left us quite a collection of really nice old historical books. And so it's more of a library, although we do call it a champagne lounge because we do like champagne or wine. And it's also very comfortable, so we eat dinner in there at times, but sort of a sports.
Yeah.
I can also watch, baseball and football in there.
So
Yes.
it's kind of a classy man cave.
Yeah, that's a really good description. Thank you.
And you have a dedicated wine room.
What's nice about the wine room is that we had an artist in San Miguel de Allende who took wine bottles that we had used while we were there for the month and made it into a beautiful glass.
Yeah.
You kind of know what the room is because of the glass of structure on it.
So what are some of the projects you guys have completed?
We had a local artist here that actually created beautiful stained glass windows upstairs. It looks like it's been here for years. And I'd say the other room that's my favorite is the cinema room, which we created. Our youngest son's in the movie industry, and so we wanted a cinema room.
The other thing, the major project is, as we said, the house is 100 years old. Most of the original cotton electrical wiring was in the house when we bought it, and that's been Virtually all has been finally replaced. Another major one is redoing the exterior landscaping. We redid the master bedroom bathroom to make it more functional.
An old house is never done.
Yes.
Right.
So master bathroom, you mentioned that when we were talking earlier, you mentioned it was orange before, and you completely redid the layout. So tell me about that.
It was orange.
That's insane.
It was orange, so the whole layout we
And with a
changed.
huge double shower where you could have probably had the Jacksonville Jaguars take their after game showers, and it was just humongous
Yeah.
And beautiful.
and beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, Jim and Cecilia, thanks again for having us. We're right near the Fountain of Youth, but in this 100-year-old home, I think is benefiting from that because it does not feel, it's got the history of the 100 years, but it is just super updated, and you guys have clearly just done an amazing job.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's been nice.
Mostly her.
Now let's take a quick look at the real estate market for Intracoastal Homes in downtown St. Augustine. Intracoastal Homes within downtown St. Augustine sold for an average of $2.98 million over the past year, which is up just over 13% from the previous year when the average was $2.63 million, and up over 132% from a decade ago when the average was $1.28 million. Prices for intracoastal properties averaged a whopping 399% more than other homes in downtown St. Augustine, and also appreciated at a higher rate over this past decade. Currently, there are 2 intracoastal homes for sale within downtown St. Augustine, ranging in price from $1.48 million to $2.38 million. For updated information on these specific listings or on downtown St. Augustine's market trends, check out our website, hammondfamilygroup.com. When we come back on Property Tours, we'll visit with the Hathorn family, who live in an amazing home that includes some unique rooms on the south side of downtown.
How does a modern technology platform paired with expert advice really bring a robust, comprehensive, coordinated financial plan to clients?
The technology allows you to reduce the time that that financial advisor is spending on back office so that they can spend that time face-to-face with their client and they get a better technology experience.
Hogan Law is a collection of lawyers that help people solve problems in areas of their life they're not able to solve them themselves.
We are not individuals, we are purely a team.
Anything from, say, asbestos, lung cancer cases, auto accidents, trucking accidents, bike accidents, A to Z. We have the resources to win your case and win it to such a degree that you're going to be very happy with the results.
Are you looking for the fastest, most reliable home financing? Welcome to First Coast Mortgage Funding. Our dedicated loan officers work tirelessly to secure the best deals, ensuring you move quickly into your dream home. Behind every swift closing, our expert team of processors accelerates your journey from application to approval. We offer exclusive financing incentives when buying your next home. Visit our website or give us a call to learn more. First Coast Mortgage Funding, where your homeownership dreams take flight.
We're here at the Hathorn House in the historic Lincolnville area of St. Augustine.
The Hathorns have their own dedicated ballroom upstairs. You used to do ballroom dance yourself, didn't you?
Yes.
How'd that go for you?
Good.
Last question. Who ate the apple?
Who?
The worm ate the apple.
Oh, he did this at our wedding. Ridiculous.
Lincolnville is yet another historic district, but this time we're on the south side of St. Augustine. Founded in 1866 by recently freed slaves, the community is named for President Abraham Lincoln and even played a role in the nation's civil rights movement of the 1960s. Some of the main attractions in and near Lincolnville include the Lincolnville Museum and Cultural Center, the local Flagler College, and the Leitner Museum. The Hathorns purchased this lot and built this home in 2014. The property sits along historic St. George Street, which has been considered St. Augustine's main street and heart of the city since its early beginnings. This home was built with St. Augustine's history and Spanish architectural style in mind and includes over 4,000 square feet, beautiful gardens, an elevator, screened-in pool, and several unique rooms including an art room, TV room, and even a dedicated ballroom. Fred, Linda, I must say this is one of the most unique homes we've ever seen. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you.
So, first question, tell us a little bit about your story and what brought you guys to this amazing home.
Well, it's kind of in the tradition of St. Augustine. 100 years ago, there were many houses on this very street, St. George Street, that had ballrooms. And so when we got time to buy a house, we tried to find one that had big enough space that we could dance in. And we couldn't find one. So we said, well, maybe we could build one.
This home in St. Augustine, I mean, so unique. What about St. Augustine that drew you to this area specifically?
I remember the first time I came to St. Augustine, I was so impressed with the beautiful Spanish architecture downtown. And I just always dreamed of, having a Spanish house. And plus, one thing that was the reason I liked this house and this lot was because I knew I could have a garden here. And it's worked out really well.
So what are some of your favorite things about living in downtown St. Augustine?
Well, one thing, I'm currently taking dance classes and art classes at the River House, which is a 5-minute walk from here. And we were living in a condo on the island, so we had to drive over. And we said, wouldn't it be nice to live downtown?
It was kind of serendipity, though. We didn't really expect to be this close to it, but that's one of the things that we really like about it, because we can just walk to it when we need to or want to.
And that's what I like about the area too, is we can walk to everything. We can walk to restaurants and concerts and art galleries, the Friday night art walk. Everything is easy to get to.
Well, with St. Augustine being the first settlement here in North America, the fact that you were able to find a lot to build on and build your own home, most of these homes around here are 80, 90, 100 plus years old. You guys were able to custom build your own home. How did you come across this lot?
I was actually working with the Tour of Homes over on another side of town, and I told somebody I was interested in looking for a house downtown, and they said, I know a lot. It's a realtor. She owns the house next door, and she's got a lot for sale. So that's how we first heard about it.
It was pure luck, and this lot had never been built on in the entire history of St. Augustine. And so we saw it. It was right on a lake. It was in a lovely neighborhood. It was just, hey, yeah, we'll take that.
So tell us the story though about the airplane.
Oh yes. Now, a gentleman knocked on our door after the first year or so we were here. He said, I used to live here in the 80s, and this is my plane. This is a picture of my plane. And we used to fly from the lot where you are over the lake.
It was an empty lot, and they used to use it as a landing strip for ultralight aircraft. And we've got some pictures of them. Holy mackerel.
Wow, that must have been kind of terrifying, having a plane just land next door to your house.
What about the pilot, though, taking out right over the road, and then all of a sudden he's over the lake?
What the neighbors thought of that.
Yeah, you don't have an HOA when that's going on.
Right.
So, what made you guys get passionate about ballroom? Why was it so important to have a space?
Well, we were performing occasionally, so we wanted a place to practice.
We thought we were going to play golf when we retired. I mean, that's what you do when you retire to Florida, right? And but we got some folks invited us to some dance lessons, and we took them, and we found we enjoyed it.
We do other kinds of dancing up here. We do tap dancing, and sometimes our tap dance group will come up here and practice before a performance.
You definitely need to invite my 2-year-old next time you do that.
Okay.
He's obsessed with Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire.
Oh, yes.
He would love that.
I love that too.
I don't even know who those people are, but anyway, but beyond just the dance room here at your house, you guys have some other, you've really custom built this because you have some other unique rooms and personal touches you put on the house. Can you tell us a little about those rooms as well?
We like the Spanish look. We wanted our interior to look like the exterior. So when you walk into the house, you feel this sense of connection between the exterior look, which is the Mission Spanish, and the interior look, which has a lot of Spanish effects. We also, Linda is a gardener. She's out in the garden all the time. She also likes to practice art. She does all kinds of different art styles, and she has a room over our garage that allows her enough space to do all her artwork.
You can leave a mess over there, and you don't have to live with it. You just start an art project and leave it on the table. But what I love about this house is all the outdoor spaces. Like this porch here, we have actually a fire table on the porch, and it has a beautiful view of the lake and all the plantings. And I love the screen porch, the side porch, because we're protected from mosquitoes, and we have the pool right there, and it's heated. That helps too. So it's a lot of fun for the grandchildren when they come. We have 7 grandchildren.
So another thing too, there's a lot of art in this house. So tell us the story on the art, because I noticed it looks a lot like St. Augustine.
Yeah, you didn't paint all those art pictures yourself.
No, I don't have my artwork over here in the house. But we had a neighbor that was an artist. And we were having the neighborhood party. And we'd had bare walls because we just barely moved in. And we asked him if we could borrow some of his paintings, and just to make the place look livable. Well, we probably borrowed maybe 7 paintings from him. I'll let you tell the rest of the story.
And we wound up buying all 7 of them.
Well, I'll tell you this, if you want any My Little Pony paintings, I know a 5-year-old girl who has been all kinds of stuff. It'll bring a whole new look into your house.
All right, tell us in your kitchen about your breakfast nook, because it is beautiful.
We had been working on the design of the house, and we were going on a cruise to Greece, and we were going with our good friends. So we were showing them the plans. We laid the plans out, said, oh, this is what our new house is going to be like. And there was another couple we had just gotten to know, a few hours before, and they looked at our plans too, because they were chatting, and they said,
He looked at the kitchen, and at the time, we were going to have a stairwell going on the north side of the house that would have cut off our kitchen, and so there would have been no windows in the kitchen. And he pointed out that that's going to be very claustrophobic. And so he redesigned our kitchen, and as a result, we have a kitchen that is just fantastic. And we probably spend more time in our kitchen than just about any other room of the house.
You said too that there's a few pieces of reclaimed wood in your house, the kitchen table, and where else?
We started out with the mantle. I want a place for my grandchildren to be able to just line up and sit at the dining room table. And I said, can you make me a bigger bench? And he said, sure, I could make 2 benches for you. And I said, how about a kitchen table also right here in this nook? And he said, yes.
Wood is rather unique.
Yes.
The wood is between 150 and 170 years old. And it's heart of pine wood, which you just don't find anymore. It let us capture a little bit of the history of St. Augustine, right? Because we can tell everybody this wood is 150 years old, and it's from historic St. Augustine.
Your house is definitely a tribute to St. Augustine for sure, so it is beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, and here's another tribute. After being in this room, I think I'm finally inspired. I gotta expand my dance moves. What do you say we take up ballroom?
Okay. Again, been wanting this for about 10 years.
Well, thank you guys again so much for having us. It's been just a pleasure getting to know you guys in the house.
Thank you.
Now let's take a quick look at the real estate market in the Lincolnville area of St. Augustine.
Homes in and around Lincolnville sold for an average of $722,000 over the past year, which is actually down about 4% from the previous year when the average was $751,000, but up over 154% from a decade ago when the average was $284,000. Prices in the Lincolnville area averaged around 11% less than homes more towards the north side of downtown, and also appreciated at a lesser rate over this past decade. Currently, there are 29 Lincolnville area homes for sale, ranging in price from $460,000 up to as high as $2.95 million. For updated information on these specific listings or on Downtown St. Augustine's market trends, check out our website, hammondfamilygroup.com. Thanks for exploring Downtown St. Augustine with us today. Be sure to tune in next week when we head to the coast and explore 2 stunning oceanfront properties within Jacksonville Beach. You can also rewatch this episode along with those previously aired on our website, hammondfamilygroup.com.